Bayonetta 3 is here! Many die-hard fans have been waiting for its release since the teaser at the 2017 Game Awards, depicting Bayonetta from her first game, fighting a mysterious entity. The bullets completely are dissolved by the power of this unknown creature / being. And then Bayonetta is all of a sudden disintegrated, as if they just completely annihilated her in one single blow. But if you know anything about the game series, you should know that Bayonetta herself, when she is hurt, she bleeds in roses. That is how all Umbra witches bleed. Normally you don't see them bloodied and broken. When they're hit, roses. But then again, we have never seen an Umbra witch bleed, besides what we've learned from the games and the gameplay. So we're not certain as to what this trailer was trying to present. However, one thing's for certain. The teaser showed us one thing here. Not only was Bayonetta bloodied and completely just disintegrated, but the guns she was wielding were not the Scarborough Fair. They were titled Whittingham Fair. So this may even play more into some sort of timeline split or alternate reality of sorts. But let's dive in and talk about Bayonetta 3. Now finally, as of the 23rd on Nintendo's Direct, we have gotten a trailer. It takes place in Tokyo, on a setting where it seems to be Astral Chain.
HQ 接敵した距離50対象は北東に向かって移動中遅れこちら本部了解した作戦を開始せよ了解打撃用意撃て対戦車砲用意撃てHQ 対象は3つ効果は見られない理解す効果は見られない
But wait, who could have heard it? Purple bullets? P? For platinum? That could only mean... Bayonetta! It's her. Oh, and with a new gun design too. But of course, this is a new game after all. Has to match that purple aesthetic they're going for. Wait, if you look ever so closely, they don't seem to be made by Rodin now, are they? Color My World by Melody Sunshine? Does that mean no Rodin in this game? Just another hint and teaser to this being maybe a younger version of Bayonetta, in a different time than we're expecting. Henceforth she sounds different, she looks like her young self, and there's just all weird things happening. So, Platinum Games faked us out for the longest while, and all of a sudden, our famous witch comes from the sky to tackle on and defeat one of these unknown, mysterious-looking creatures. They have some sort of resemblance to enemies of the second game, but they also kind of have resemblance to enemies of Astral Chain. So, the big question remains. Is this an alternate timeline? Does this take place in another world? Does this still take place in modern day? What timeline does this take place in? Is it in the setting of where Astral Chain takes place? In Tokyo? Is it the modern day? And as you can see, Bayonetta herself is dressed as her younger self, Cereza. Now, Cereza is her real name, and Cereza is Bayonetta, because from the first game, you come to learn that her little self that she encounters, thanks to her father, Balder, which is the final and last known Lumen Sage at the time, has plucked her from the past and put her in the present to Bayonetta's current timeline. Their first encounter is in a cathedral, where she then, after meeting her young self, encounters Fortigido after a brief flashback, who is seen in the past for being one of the sole causes of the witch hunts. Why did they conduct these witch hunts, you ask? Because they were after one thing. The left eye. The left eye is a jewel that contains power. Each side, the Umbra and the Lumens, had an eye of each. The Lumen Sages had the right eye of light. The Umbra had the left eye of darkness. Each of the clans had overseers that held these stones, which dictated balance. One overseer saw the right side, one overseer saw the left side, like the yin and yang symbol, a balance between both light and dark. When those two sides no longer cooperate with each other, chaos and the entire world falls apart. And because Balder and Rosa broke the contract between two of the clans, the Lumen Sages unleashed war upon the Umbra Witches, decided to confiscate the left eye, which was entrusted with Bayonetta in a coffin underwater, asleep for 500 years. She awakes with no memory of her past, fighting these angels that threaten her life, because if she doesn't, the demons that she signed contract with to keep her alive would drag her ass down to hell. And that'll be the end of everything. Now you might be wondering, oh, well that means that the angels are evil then, right? Absolutely. In a game like Bayonetta, you would think that witches may be the evil ones. But this game isn't like that. You'd think demons would be evil and the angels are good. Well, that's just not how it goes in Bayonetta. And you might be thinking, well, if the angels are just out of order and killing all the witches and they're planning to completely just destroy the world and recreate it as they see fit, then why doesn't anybody stop them? Well, for one, have you seen them? And number two, nobody really gives a shit. Anybody who's alive mostly praises and worships God and turns themselves into angels for this just cause. Also, if there's actually people out there who wanted to do something about it and didn't want to praise God, they couldn't hurt or do anything to the angels, whether you wanted to see the angels or the demons. You would need to have some sort of special or magically imbued equipment to be able to see things that the naked eye, an average human, cannot see.
Mommy?
Can't you see? Mommy's fighting the bad monsters for us. Mister, if you don't open your eyes, you'll miss everything. Look at these.
Now, if you look closely, Bayonetta has a special type of weaponry. She uses special types of guns made out of alloys that come from the actual souls of demons. And these weapons are created from the souls of demons by a shopkeep named Rowan down at the gates of Hell bar. Now, his bar isn't the actual gates of hell. However, he uses them to be able to get himself into hell, to kill demons and forge them into weapons, all for the hefty price of an Angelic Hymns gold LP. And how do you get these gold LPs? Well, you need to be able to kill angels to be able to get these better weapons to begin with. But if you're a witch, you get your own set for free, as long as you do him some more business, of course. If you're curious on Rowan's backstory, well, he was actually a fallen angel, and now he's just a bartender and a demon weaponsmith. He ruled a section of Paradiso, which is basically heaven in this case, and Inferno is, of course, what you would think would be hell. But after he was exiled for fighting in an insurgency against Paradiso, well, all bets were off, and now he just runs the bar.
That thing is the perfect bait to coax out some of hell's uglies. One note hits their ears, and a damn who's who of Inferno comes pouring out of the inner circles. Then I can use them to breathe life into what I
I make best. Weapons of mass destruction. Tell you what, you give me that record and I'll order up something so fiendish, angels will cry at the sight of it. I'll just have to pop down to the tropics for a bit. So take a load off. All done. He's a little rude, but he makes up for it with charm. Be nice to him, okay?
I thought I'd fucked up my business. Gotta hand it to you. This is quality. The perfect palette for an artiste. Now, time to do my dirty.
So that's how that works. Well, not very romantic.
Got a nice glow about it, don't you think? As for its power, well, you don't need me to explain the finer points of fucking shit up, do you?
Now, regular handguns, as you can see here in the beginning of the game, do hurt angels. But to be able to hurt them, of course, like I said before, you need to be able to see them. So, it seems that witches and Rodan himself are the only ones capable. And of course, the people behind the control of these angels, the Lumen Sages, and other types of gods, can also, of course, see and control them. But unless you're either or, you're kinda screwed in either aspect.
No more shots from me, Bayonetta.
So now that I give you a rundown on Bayonetta, you think you know everything? Well, not exactly. Actually, there's a few more things I need to run by you if you don't know about what Bayonetta's about. She uses her suit as hair, and as her weapon, to summon limbs of a demon called Madama Butterfly, which is who she contracted and sold her soul to stay alive in this world. Now, accepting said contract also changes the form of your shadow. It is no longer your own shadow. It is the shadow of the demon you sold your soul to. The game tells you that Bayonetta is the only lasting witch on the planet, but that actually doesn't seem to be the case. It contradicts itself and introduces you to the strange woman that you see here, Jeanne. She antagonizes you for a bit and seems to be kind of an annoying challenge, but she does it all for the benefit of Bayonetta to help her regain her memories. And soon after, when Bayonetta regains her full strength and potential, she ends up fighting alongside Bayonetta to save the world in the first game. But there's a little twist in the second. With their new styles, weapons, and tricks up their sleeves, Bayonetta and Jeanne are an unstoppable force. Until the demons start rebelling against Bayonetta and take Jeanne's soul right out of her body and drags her to hell. So the basis of the second game is to save Jeanne. And that's basically what it boils down to, except for the introduction of a new god and antagonist and what have you. And now that we ran through all the basics, I think it's time we revisit the Bayonetta 3 trailer and pick up on some details and really talk about what this trailer was trying to give us and break it down. I'd like to comment on things that I've brought up in the trailer thus far. I definitely commented on the guns and whom they were made by, but I didn't actually bring up the song that they actually reference, which was, of course, Colored My World by Petula Clark. Seems like the type of theme that would fit the old type of songs that the other games in the series have referenced. She was a British singer and actress, and the song definitely took off in the 60s.
You'll never see a dark cloud hanging round me. Now there is only blue sky to surround me. There's never been a gray day since you found me. Everything I touch is turning to gold. So you can color my world with sunshine.
And it definitely seems like it would fit the theme for the old types of songs that the games have used in the past. Another thing I'd like to note is, as you saw before, Bayonetta's wings were that of Madama's in her shadow, and she would also use those wings as her own if she would jump or float. But now in the trailer you catch a slight glimpse of what you think may be Madama, but it actually looks like something a bit different, especially when you see the antennas on her head instead of horns. So it's definitely some type of Madama that we have not seen before. And in the trailer, Bayonetta actually turns into this summon with a new mechanic called Demon Masquerade. What's even cooler about the new mechanics in the game is not only do we see Demon Masquerade when Bayonetta actually turns into said demon, her voice also changes to that of a demon's. And there's also one other new mechanic, and it's referred to as Demon Slave. Unlike the climax summons of previous games that automatically defeated enemies and returned to Inferno, this mechanic lets players control demons during the gameplay and lets them unleash a host of intuitive actions. It's like, unlike the other games, where you could, say, use just Unburdened Climax or just a regular climax to either finish a foe off or combo them. Now, Bayonetta seems to be dancing, which is very unlike her and unbecoming of her, because normally she doesn't quite act so girly. And I know that sounds kind of odd, and there's no sexism intended here or any type of thing like that, but usually we know Bayonetta as a very sexually confident woman, and she uses that as her strength. She uses that as she owns every part of herself, and this Bayonetta is a bit different, and that is what reinforces my idea, thinking that she may be a younger version of herself. The Cereza that we met in the first game, the younger Bayonetta. And that would also link to what the teaser was implying of a dead Bayonetta that we haven't seen, wielding guns that are similar yet foreign to us, and her dying in a way that was very odd. Also, on a side note, I'd like to point out that the enemies in this game don't appear to be angel-like whatsoever, as your typical everyday average human can actually see them and try to hit them with weapons. Now, it doesn't affect them, but it's definitely something to note. Does that mean this Bayonetta does not fight in a different realm, invisible to the naked eye, or is it still... or is something a little bit different here? And so maybe this Bayonetta exists because this is young Cereza now grown up, trying to either save the Bayonetta that we know, or perhaps there's a different approach to this story that we're not certain of yet. And the reasons why this game may be drastically different as well is that Yusuke Hashimoto is no longer the director for Bayonetta. It is now a new director named Yusuke Miyata. Now, what's really funny is these two directors have the exact same first name. Is that also a coincidence? I'm not sure. To what he says, breathe new life into the game. So, as you can see, the game definitely is very different, and probably for this reason as well. So please tell me what you think there. Regardless of these changes, I believe this game looks absolutely splendid. Graphics look fantastic, the game pacing and style is fast, full of adrenaline, pumping action. And it's still got that lovely style with new gauges and health meters and HUD styles. It looks very clean, but it's very clean, very modern, but also very nice. It looks very fun and fast, like you would expect from a Bayonetta game. It still has that style. You know, it still feels like a Bayonetta game, despite the changes in our character and what we see here. I think it'll be an excellent game, and I embraced the changes rather quickly, which surprised me because I'm a die-hard Bayonetta fan. So it definitely shook our world, and I cannot wait for more information. Platinum Games said that they were going to release more information after they finish up the end of production, which they're at the home stretch. So we're hoping that is going to be in the next upcoming few months, hopefully, maybe before Christmas. We don't know the exact date, of course, but I am very excited for that. And the voice actress is different. Helena Taylor on Twitter confirmed that it will not be her for this game. Now, that does not mean she won't be in this game, because if these hypotheses and theories that we're thinking of and what we're taking from this trailer here, they may come true in one way or another. Maybe this is young Cereza trying to save herself, right, from an alternate timeline, or there could be very many options here, but that doesn't rule out Helena Taylor not being in that game if this theory comes true. Maybe may it be far-fetched, perhaps, but I would say you should give it. I think you should give it a chance. She wasn't very active on her Twitter as of late, but it seemed just like a good week before they revealed Bayo 3, all of a sudden Helena Taylor was active and she was answering comments and fan questions. It was very interesting, and I don't think it was just a coincidence either. Regardless of the new voice actress, I think she is doing a tremendous job. She sounds great for Bayonetta, and she fits this Bayonetta character perfectly. Definitely going to be looking forward to every ounce of this game, and can't wait to see what the story has in store for us. Let me know what you guys think about your opinions here. And let me know what you think about that mysterious figure at the end. It kind of resembles a Vergil-like character from DMC, but they also have what appears to be white hair. It could be Jeanne. The sword they are wielding has one of Jeanne's cat figurines on the back of their sword, dangling from the hilt. And those cats would actually represent the Three Musketeers. So it'd be very interesting to know who that is and what their part in the game is. Please let me know what you guys think about that as well. But that's finally it for my video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. I know it was a lot to get through, and it may have been sloppy. I don't usually make videos like this, but the game means a lot to me, so I figured I'd give it a crack at it and see what I could give you guys. So let me know your feedback, and you can catch my socials in the description. And I just hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope you look forward to Bayonetta 3 just as much as I do. Take care, guys.